YouTube channels of GKS Scholars of India, of some of the Indians, and I felt that they were not appropriate enough. If you feel that if you work hard, you can achieve whatever you want to, then things don't actually work that way. And the techniques and the strategies which all the YouTubers talk about are so generalized. The things which I told you, I've never found any of the GKS scholars on YouTube telling you all of these things. In this video, I'll be talking about the things to keep in mind before applying for this scholarship, the documents which are evaluated for this scholarship, assumed weightage of each of these documents, figuring out your weak points in the application, and ways to perfect each document. So the thing is that in today's life, if you feel that if you work hard, you can achieve whatever you want to, then things don't actually work that way. Just hard work alone doesn't pay you off. Smart work combined with hard work can give you the best results you want. It's no rocket science. So like, imagine there are two people and both of them are told to learn to break a piece of wood with their hand. So one of them puts in a lot of effort. He also hurts his hand multiple times, but he doesn't give up. He keeps working until he learns how to break the wood with his hand. But there's this other man who learns the proper technique of where to put pressure on so that the wood just breaks. So this person hurts himself less. The person worked less, but now he is maybe better. So that's how life works. Just knowing, just putting in hard work, just working hard without knowing in which direction you are working, in which strategy, what strategy are you following, doesn't win you anything. Not obviously working hard is important, but with hard work you need to think about the strategies, you need to think about those techniques which have already been applied and tested and proven. That also applies to the scholarship. Before applying for the scholarship, before preparing for the scholarship, you need to know the scholarship well. You need to know the format, you need to know the loopholes, you need to know everything you can about the scholarship, and you need to know what the previous GKS scholars did, because what they did are proven techniques and strategies which you could incorporate and which can make you win this scholarship. Also, most of the tips which are available on YouTube regarding this scholarship, I don't think they are sufficient enough. I don't think they tell you enough about what is actually needed to win this scholarship. The tips and the techniques and the strategies which all the YouTubers talk about are so generalized that I don't think it will be helpful enough to make you get into even the final list of candidates. So you must be thinking, who am I to guide you on this scholarship? So my name is Jannat and I am 2024 undergraduate GKS scholar from India, currently studying in SNU. So I think that yes, I have the experience and the strategies to guide you on this scholarship. So yes, you can trust me. What are the necessary documents which are primarily evaluated for this scholarship? So once we have the extracurriculars, your stats, which are the transcripts, your essays, recommendation letters, and if you have some TOEFL, IELTS or TOPIK examination results, these are the things which are evaluated. Sometimes there are other things also, like the major and the university for embassy track, the university you've chosen. I'm not going to explain you the process of applying to this scholarship, because if you are viewing this video, which means you are serious about applying for this scholarship, and you already know about the general process of application. So basically there are two tracks. You need to choose your own track, but that's also an important issue. If you want, I can make a separate video on that. So there are two tracks, embassy track and university track basically. For the university track, you apply directly to one of the universities, but you can apply only to one university and not to the top ranking universities. And for the embassy track, you have to apply directly to the embassy of South Korea in your country, and you can apply to the bigger, more reputed colleges, but because the quota is very less, chance of selection is lesser than that of the university track. Right now I told you about 5 important documents which are evaluated for this scholarship. So based on my experience and based on my thinking, my opinion, I have divided the proportion of importance these different documents hold in the evaluation process. So, according to me, the extracurriculars hold 40% importance in your application process, followed by the essays, which hold 25% importance. Your stats, the transcripts, your scores, mark sheets hold 20% importance. Your tests like TOEFL, IELTS hold about 8% importance, and then we have 2% importance to miscellaneous things like the university you have chosen, or the major you have chosen, or the kind of personality which you have portrayed. Why have I divided the importance, the proportion of importance of these documents is for you to understand what is most important, what you need to focus on. So there are chances that among these 5 documents, you think that one of these documents, or more than one, like 2 or 3 of these documents, are not good enough. You can't be perfect in everything, and that's completely fine. Before you sending your document for evaluation to the embassy, you need to evaluate your document yourself. The first step is to sit down and evaluate which of these 5 documents is you think is not good enough for your application process. You need to work to build that particular category. Say suppose there are people who have really great test scores. They have a like 97%, 98% board results, and then they have really good essays, but then they are lacking in their extracurriculars. So they need to sit and evaluate, and when they know that they are lacking in their extracurriculars, which means that now they know that they need to work to build up their extracurricular. The main step here is for you to identify and to know where you are lacking. Before searching for solution, you need to identify your problem. In life also, before searching for solution, you need to study the problem, you need to identify the problem. So the first step is us identifying the problem, the next step is us understanding that problem, and then finally finding the solution. Now imagine there are 2 applicants and you are the evaluator. Both of them apply for business administration major, and one of them submits the extracurricular of having won a silver medal at the school level in an English Olympiad maybe. And the other applicant submits the extracurricular of having worked as an intern in a company, the remote intern in a company, in so-and-so company. Whom are you going to select? The answer would be the one who has worked as an intern in so-and-so company. Maybe why? Because it sounds intimidating. It sounds quite impressive that a student who has just graduated high school has got the opportunity to work as an intern in so-and-so company, as an online remote intern. And it is possible, because there are so many startup companies, there are so many small companies who want to hire high school students as interns. And it's not going to be difficult, because it's an online internship, remote internships which you can apply for, which will really boost your profile. If these kind of applicants are present, then obviously no one is going to pay attention to the one who has got a silver or gold medal in the school in an Olympiad. If you want to choose activities which you want to indulge into for your extracurriculars, look at the activity and think, can other participants, can other applicants, can other people also easily do this thing? Can other applicants also have this thing? And if the answer is yes, then I would say the extracurricular is not good enough. I mean, you can put in the certificates for those extracurriculars as well, but only having those certificates is not going to get you this scholarship. So while choosing the extracurricular, think about how unique it is and whether the other participants, the other applicants can also have this kind of activity. Now for example, Olympiads. I mean, almost all the people in India have once in their life participated in Olympiads. So just submitting certificates wherein you got silver medal in Olympiads at the school level, do you think that will help you fetch the scholarship at a national level? No, it will not. But for the same Olympiad, if you had won some medal, some bronze or silver medal at the international level, then that makes you great. Now, while choosing activities to indulge into for your scholarship, you have to see how important, how great it is, number one, and number two, is it related to your major? Now, if you want to go for business administration major and you have certificates related to dance and music, I don't think that's going to work. Because you need to show through your extracurriculars how interested you are to pursue your major. So if you are a computer science major, have those extracurriculars which show your interest in that major. Like you can have an internship as a graphic designer in some small company, or like an extracurricular of having helped so and so person in making an application for his or her company. I know it sounds really intimidating, but it is not. If you go and look out for opportunities, you're gonna find a lot of opportunities. And I know it's difficult in the beginning, but it's not impossible. It's once you get into this field of contact, it gets easier. Start meeting more people. Those people start talking about you to other people. So you need to build connections. And if you build connections, you're gonna get a lot of opportunity. So the other thing which you have to keep in mind in order to build a strong profile with good extracurricular activities is to take every opportunity you have, no matter how small it is. Now, sometimes it happens that we get to know about a competition or about an event, but we don't really want to participate in that competition or event because we think that it's been organized by a small company, it's not worth the time, it's not worth investing my time and things like that. When I have this thought, what I always tell myself is that you are not great enough to reject opportunities right now. Right now, you are at a stage where even the smallest opportunity is for you to grab. Maybe after some time, when you've achieved a lot of great things in your life, you may be at a position wherein you can reject proposals, reject opportunities. Because if you reject opportunities right now, maybe opportunities are gonna reject you tomorrow. Maybe it's a small competition organized by a small company. Maybe it's a small publishing event organized by a small publication house. No matter how small it sounds, how small you perceive it to be, you need to participate in that. So the next thing which you have to do, not only for the scholarship but also for the rest of your life, is to build contacts. You don't know right now, you don't have an idea maybe how important contacts is. The contacts help you build different kind of opportunities which can make you rise in life. So this is the best stage to build contacts in your life. You have to email a lot of people. You have to take the first step, message a lot of people, a lot of companies, a lot of creators. Some of them will reply, some of them will not reply, and that's completely fine. But then after messaging and emailing a lot of companies, a lot of small creators, a lot of small publication houses, you're really gonna get some new opportunities. When you are actually interested in your field of study, in your major you have selected and mentioned, things become a lot easier for you. Because if you're actually interested in your major, you are interested to know more about it. So you can write stuff, you can write your own views and opinions about things related to your field of study. And if they are good enough, they can be published. You can give them to small publication houses and they'll publish stuff for you, which is going to be really helpful in building your profile. I would say publishing things is one of the most important elements of building a good profile. And I would say it is also kind of easy, because if you're interested in your major, if you have really new opinions and viewpoints and stuff, you can write them, you can pen them down, and there are a lot of publication houses as well as newspapers, magazines who are eager to publish new opinions and new viewpoints. You can also try sending your articles to newspapers, because almost all the newspapers accept articles from readers. There are also digital newspapers which are easier to publish into and also more convenient. So what you have to actually do is research and search for all these newspapers, for all these platforms which give you the opportunity. Also, publishing stuff does not mean that you have to be good in literature. If you have a good viewpoint about any field of study and you can pen it down in a way that people and normal readers could understand it, it is worth being published in any magazine or newspaper in the education section. So what you need to do right now is to think about something, write a good article, and search for newspapers who are ready to publish you. Internet is a really great resource for almost everything. It depends on us how we are using it and whether we are able to use it to the maximum of our fulfillment. So on internet there are a lot of blogs and websites which publish competitions and important competitions every month, every week. So you need to search for those blogs and those websites and subscribe to them, push on the notification button so that you get to know about new opportunities. You have to find opportunities. Opportunities won't come knocking on your door, right? So I can suggest you one of those websites. The name is Dex Connect. I have subscribed to Dex Connect. I receive a PDF of all the important government organized, locally organized, internationally organized important competitions on the beginning of every month. So I receive a PDF of all these competitions on the first Sunday of every month. So you can also subscribe to this newsletter and you will get lots of opportunities. So now I'll be telling you how to perfect your essays. Now see, before beginning to tell you the tips to make your essays worth reading, I would say this is something you have to do. There's no if, buts, or what if I am not able to do it. You cannot make any excuses for this. It's directly in your hand to ace this section. It is one of the most important sections. So if your extracurricular is not that fine, you feel that your grades are not the top one, I say even these essays can make a big difference to your application because this is one of the most important parts of the document. So there's no if, buts, or any excuses. You have to make your essay perfect. First of all, the most frequently made mistakes which applicants do, not only for applications for this scholarship, but like for applications everywhere, is to just start with a monotonous formal speech of like, hello, I'm Jannat, I'm from India, and I'm really interested in South Korea. My interest grew when I was a child and I used to watch K-dramas. This kind of monotonous beginnings will ruin your application. You're sitting to read a bundle of applications of around like 2,000, 3,000 applications, and you read applications most of which start with hello, I am so and so, or a monotonous quote by Albert Einstein or some K-drama dialogue. I think this will set a really good first impression of your application on the mind of the evaluators. If I was the evaluator, it would not. Really. You have to be very careful about your first impression. You cannot start with the same monotonous beginning of a very formal speech like, I'm standing here to tell you this and this. No. You have to build a storyline. So the first thing is be creative. Being creative is very important in life. So think about a story. Start it like a person is reading a story in order to grab the attention of the reader. So start it like, when I was a child, there was a time that I went to this and this place and then I saw this and this and I was shocked. This builds an interest on the mind of the readers. So you have to make the entire essay sound like a storyline. So how would you make that? You have to talk about your achievements, about what kind of a person you are. So how are you going to make it into a story? You can use metaphor. Turn it into a metaphorical story. If you're not understanding what I'm saying, the best thing you can do is go and again search for those the essays of people who have gotten acceptance into Ivy League universities. You can go and hear the essays they have to speak. Now the essays they speak, and that's beautiful. That's really beautiful. You have to write something like that. Don't go for the formal essay like, since I was a child, I always wanted to study in a top ranking university and South Korea is the best option for me. No, this is a kind of, if I was the evaluator, this would be the kind of application I would just keep aside. You have to be creative, because if you have to get selected from so many people from your country, you have to put in something which sets you apart from the others. So in the application, there are also people who just keep talking about their achievements and nothing about their personality. That thing is also not good at all. When there are people who will be just talking that I got a silver medal in so and so thing, and then next year too I got selected as this and this. These kind of this doesn't tell you what kind of a personality, what kind of a person you are. Essays are not meant to showcase your achievements, but your capability, your ability, right? So in your essays, you instead of just putting stuff like I got silver medal in so and so competition at the international level, you can talk about the experience you gained, about how that competition, that achievement impacted your personal life. That also tells them that you have achieved so and so, and that also puts it as in a no bragging way. Helps them understand what kind of a person you are. There are supplementary documents wherein you have to submit certificates if you have some. So there are people who submit like 40 to 50 certificates, and that's completely fine. Even I submitted a lot of certificates. Most of them were really good, but some of them were not really great, but I just wanted to submit them. So when you're writing about yourself in your essays, you don't have to mention about all the certificates you've already submitted, because if there are certificates of you having topped your school in the CBSE board's examination or something, you have a very well valid certificate for that, which they can see and understand what this certificate is for. You don't have to explicitly mention that thing in your essay, because like that you are actually taking up the space you could have utilized to talk about yourself and your personality and your story. Even if you have to talk about your achievements and about those certificates, then choose one or two great certificates which you think are like one of the greatest achievements till now. Talk about them in great detail. Talk about don't just talk about the technical stuff like that was a competition where people from different schools participated. No, talk about what kind of an experience you gained, how it shaped you, what were your feelings at that time. Make sure that those achievements are relevant to your field of major. It's not like you've applied for business administration and then you're talking about how a dance competition helped you change your perspective towards life. You can do it, but it would be kind of weird, right? So in your essays, make sure to show your passion towards your field of studies. Make sure to mold your story, your life story in a way to show how you built an interest towards the subject or the field of study you've chosen. Make sure it shows your essay, your personality shows that you're truly interested in your subject, you're truly made for that subject. So don't forget to talk about why you want to study in Korea. It's not just the matter of you getting this scholarship, but also it's the matter of why have you chosen Korea? Why do you want to study in Korea? Now don't go and write that you love K-drama, you want to meet K-pop idols. No, it's fine even if that's the original reason, that's why you truly want to Korea, but you don't have to mention that. Try to mention things which make the evaluators believe that there's a genuine interest of this applicant to come to Korea. Now don't go for that boring appraisal of Korea that I want to come to Korea because Korea is doing great in the developmental field and it has a lot of great companies. You don't have, if you speak like that, they've already read thousands of applications speaking the same thing. You have to search for that really specific thing about Korea which makes your major relevant in Korea. like I am pursuing business administration, and it's very easy for me to have written that Korea has those big companies, so I just want to learn about business from Korea. I could have just written that. That doesn't convince the evaluators enough for selecting you. So what I did was I wrote about the kind of economic system which Korea has, the kind of system which most of the companies in Korea follow, and how I'm interested to research more about that and apply that to my own company in future. That's really specific, you see. So you have to search for those specific things in Korea which you want to learn, and which makes your major relevant in Korea. For the study plan, be really specific about the universities you have chosen. You have to research a lot about your universities and mention about those specific things about your university which are really specific that make you interested to study your major from that university. Like for my business administration, I searched my university page and I mentioned the specific programs, the fellowship programs, the venture programs, the entrepreneurship center and competitions they have. So you also have to search for those centers, those programs, those specific things which your university has. Also, if possible, read some research papers on your major of study written by professors of your intended universities. Like for example, if you want to go to SNU, Seoul National University, you just have to go to their website and go to your major page and search for the professors and the papers which they've published. If you're really interested in your subject, you'll really get more knowledge and you'll be happy about that. And also, you can use some of those informations you get to mention those in your study plan. You can write that I became genuinely interested when I read the research paper of Mr. or Miss so-and-so, and I really want to study from her or ask her this and this question about the research which she had written. If you mention the name of professors, it kind of convinces the reader, it kind of convinces the evaluators that this person really is interested in that university. And also, when your application goes to the universities, they get impressed by the fact that you search. Even if they get to know the fact that you have written the name of professors on purpose, they would still appreciate you being so enthusiastic enough to search about those professors and read those researches to mention those things in your application. So it's a win-win situation anyhow. If I talk about the test scores are really important, but I don't have anything to say about that. I cannot say about that because that's already done. You cannot do anything about that. Most of you would have already given your board's examination, so you've gotten the results. You can't do anything about it. You can't change it. What you can do is to perfect the other parts of your application to increase your chances of acceptance. Okay, so there's also this section of supplementary documents. So for supplementary documents, what people do is to sometimes people submit all kinds of certificates they have, and sometimes they don't submit the right documents. So supplementary document doesn't just mean submitting certificates. You can really boost your chances of getting selected if you know how to utilize this section nicely, appropriately. So you definitely have to submit certificates, but then if you have like 60 certificates, don't go for submitting all of those 60 certificates. Sort out the certificates on the basis of their importance and select the most important of those 60 certificates. What makes a certificate important? Something which you believe will help you set you apart from the other candidates. Okay? Also, the other supplementary documents include pictures or excerpts of books or articles of your articles which have been published. If you're able to publish some of your articles in newspapers or books, you can submit their excerpts and write it below. Get them printed, write it below that this is the excerpt, this is my excerpt from the article which was published in so-and-so magazine, in so-and-so newspaper. Also, the other kind of documents that you can submit is photographs of activities which you have indulged into. Now just don't go for submitting pictures of all kinds of activities like you speaking in a debate or something. No, there are some kind of activities you have indulged into for which you don't have certificates, you don't have recommendation letters. But that was really important. Like, I hosted a lot of competition. I hosted a lot of poetry competitions. I didn't have certificates for those. So for that, I attached pictures. I made a collage of those pictures and printed them out. And then I wrote at the bottom of each picture that hosted so and so competition in which I met so and so celebrity and things like that. So you can also go for doing that thing. I prepared for my TOEFL examination like only for 3 days. And I did not even study for the full day. I studied for like 3 hours for 3 days, and I was able to score like 109 out of 120. And it was really simple. It was really easy. Just people just make a big deal of things, which is not very difficult. So if you want, I can make a video on preparing for your TOEFL examination. But yeah, I would really strongly recommend you go and take TOEFL or IELTS or TOPIK examination. That's really gonna boost your chances for this scholarship. I would say the process for applying for this scholarship is quite complicated, but getting this scholarship is not really that difficult. The thing is that people don't actually know the correct strategy for applying for scholarships and things like this. That's why they find this scholarship really challenging. The process is complicated, sure, but if you know the correct strategies, I'm sure that it would be really easy for you to get this scholarship. And the thing is that the source of information itself is not really great. Most of the information available on YouTube, most of the information which the other GKS scholars give, I don't think they explain the strategies for getting selected. I used to see the YouTube channels of GKS scholars of India, of some of the Indians, and I felt that they were not appropriate enough. They did not have those kind of strategies which would give you an edge over the others. They did not tell you the right things. They did not give the correct strategies. Things which I told you, I've never found any of the GKS scholars on YouTube telling you all of these things. So I hope this video was able to help you in preparing for your GKS application. I would surely try to answer all the queries you have in the comment section. So please do comment and subscribe to my channel. I would really, really, really appreciate it.